Oh my goodness. And there it is. Wow, get the pin to go.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Bowl TV for the second and final round of match play at the PWBA International Bowling Campus Classic from the ITRC in Arlington, Texas. This is part of the Summer Classic Series, the second of 3 national tour events, 4 events overall. We had an exciting, interesting, and just back and forth opening round of match play earlier today. But the story continues to be Stephanie Zavala, the 2-time champion, a PWBA Tour rookie as well this year, went 6-0, undefeated in the first round. She has built up a pretty nice lead heading into these final 6 games, up by nearly 120 pins on second place, which is Verity Crawley, who's also won a title this year, looking to make her second consecutive show here at the Summer Classic Series. Our competitors have their warm-up in. We've started off our match play rounds as well, so kicking things off here on 5 and 6, we got Brianna Cote versus Stephanie Schwartz, and then Zavala, our tournament leader, taking on Danielle McEwen. So with that, they're going to get into this first game. Bonus pins up for grabs. We'll talk about the top 12 format looking ahead. Of course, the stepladder final tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. But first, let's bring in the one, the only, from the ITRC. He's got the best seat in the house, folks. Curtis Von Kruger.
And the excitement builds. I'm ready to go. This is my favorite, and I will continue to drive this point home until all bowling is match play bowling. That might be unrealistic and probably not the greatest way to decide a title, but gosh darn it, I'm all for it. We have final match play round right now, 6 games to glory, 5 games, and then the position round, where anything can happen, and often everything does happen. So a little bit of a rundown. Danielle McEwen really made the hard charge last. I mean, obviously, Stephanie Zavala, she's doing Stephanie Zavala type things right now, and that's great. Danielle McEwen and Misaki Mukatani both had extraordinarily good first blocks. 5 and 1 for Misaki, and Danielle went 4 and 2. If you win a lot of games, you pick up a lot of pins, you're going to make a big move. And Danielle went, I think, from 11th to 5th. So she closed a pretty big gap. She was 100 out of the show, and in 2 games completely shut that gap down. And now she sits 16 out of the show. So Danielle looking to build off of some momentum she had last week or the previous week, where she won a doubles title with EJ Tackett at the Lucy. And after having struggled the first tournament, has found a little bit of her mojo this event. Looking to build some of that momentum. And what a way to start the day off. Stephanie Zavala, an important match for Danielle to get some momentum here and get things moving. Looks like she's going to be throwing some urethane as well. It seems like the move is to start in the urethane and then kind of go from there. I think Stephanie Zavala as well. I'm getting an eye on. Let me see what ball she's throwing.
I'm gonna guess if I was her, I would take the ball I've been using the whole time, and
Yeah.
I would have carried it with me during the lunch break just to make
Yeah,
sure
no,
nobody
absolutely.
took it. So
I think it's that honey badger urethane.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the asymmetric urethane ball. You might as well just call it the voodoo spell because it looks so perfect. She hasn't really had to change much. She doesn't have to really adjust a ton. Just kind of follow her oil, and she's been in the pocket pretty much the entire time. Hasn't gotten off necessarily to a fast start, more of a metered start, and then she pulls the ripcord and she doesn't look back. So I think she'll do the same thing here.
199 to kick off the previous match play round. She did collect a victory though, and then all of a sudden it was 250, 240, 210, 220, 220 the rest of the way out. So definitely got settled in after that first game. We will settle in by going full screen here. Boom. Just like that. And, looking at the top four right now, once again, top four make the step ladder finals for tonight. Zavala plus 624 has some room to work with. So if there's anybody who, can take, I'm not going to say take a couple frames off, but who could have, maybe a not so great game, it's her right now. Plus 624. She's 119 pins ahead of second place, which is Verity Crawley. Verity, outside of one crazy, odd, weird game that we watched here on Bowl TV. Her other games in the block, she started off with a 255, then she had that 158, which had back-to-back gutters on first shots. One of those was working on a couple of strikes. She had some spare shooting woes, and then all of a sudden, she shook all that off, said, I'm still Verity Crawley, and I'm awesome. I do cool things. Then she rattled off games of 250, 226, 232, and 239.
Yeah.
Plus 505.
I have a confession, Aaron Smith. I'm going to take credit for that because I forgot that I possessed her body in the second game, and it was really me bowling, hence why she missed all the spares and put 2 in the channel. So that is my apocalyptic power, but only in game 2s of match play rounds that fall on a Saturday. That's the only time I can do it. So
all right.
Very limited.
And then someone's up for a doozy coming up next game. But Verity, that final game moved ahead of Jen Higgins, who bowled phenomenal throughout the course of the block. Jen at plus 503. So we got plus 600 at the top and then some low plus 500s in second and third. And that drops all the way down to Misaki Mukutani, who's at plus 409. So that gap between 3 and 4, something to just have in the back of your head. So for Stephanie, Verity, and Jen, they got a little bit of a cushion to work with. But those bonus pins, they can sneak up on you fast, a bad game, whatever it may be. And we even saw that in the 4-5 battle a little bit earlier in the block where there was about an 80-pin gap between 4th and 5th. And then all of a sudden, one bad game in there, and there's about 5 people within 80 pins of the number. But as you mentioned, Danielle, the first player out, 16 back at plus 393. Brianna Cote, we're watching her right now, 45 back at plus 364. Then another bit of a gap. Kelly Kulik at plus 299, Ashley Rucker plus 276, and then Clara Guerrero 137 out at plus 272 and 9th. Going even farther back, really going to need to put on the afterburners here. Stephanie Schwartz plus 222, Shannon O'Keefe plus 220, and Sandra Gongora plus 184.
Danielle McEwen, really like her angle of the pocket against Stephanie here. And like I said, Stephanie, she struggles in that first game. She just got to get through this one. She's got some pins to give up, obviously. You don't want to look back. You don't want to put your foot on the brake. You don't want to just set it on cruise control. And I don't think she's not the type. And we saw that in New York. She had plenty of pins and plenty of cushion, but just continued to press and press and press and press to get as many pins as she could going into the lead, and made a really difficult pattern look really easy, and a nice cover there by Stephanie. And she'll get it. She'll get it figured out. It's not like all of a sudden anything has changed. Obviously the pattern will play a touch flatter. The whole you lay down a pattern on the top of itself over a period of time. It'll play a little flatter, but in the ITRC it already plays flat. So she'll be fine. She'll be good. It's a good opportunity though here for Danielle to pick up some pins and insert herself in that top 5, depending on what Misaki and Jen do. Well, really, honestly, it's you're looking at a big gap between 5 and 3, but as we have seen, that gap can come slamming shut. And right now, Jen Higgins, 7 spare, 7 spare, 7 spare, 7-2 through 4. So she has a 60 in the 4th. Not really making it to the pocket, but sends one into the pocket there with a nice strike. Mukotani, I should probably say. Try to get it right. 9 spare, strike, 9 spare. So keeping it clean against a very tough opponent. And as Danielle rattles off a 3-bagger to take a pretty powerful, pretty convincing lead early in this game, Aaron.
Taking advantage of a few early miscues from Zavala. Once again, 30 bonus pins for a victory, 15 if you happen to tie your opponent, 0 in defeat. So 180 extra pins out there this round, 6 games.
It's very weird. You have the top 5 bowlers are being very selfish with their wins. There is a atomic drop off after 5th place in win percentages, and only one player being at least 500. Brianna Cote was having a really, really rough go of things early, kind of righted the ship there late and rattled off a couple of victories. She's bowling Stephanie Schwartz, as you can see right here at 5 and 6. Wow. An open there, a little baby split she missed there. She had a chance to really kind of jump on top of that match. And a little mental mistake there from her is going to keep Stephanie with the advantage. And Stephanie and the other Stephanie, Zavala, another 7 count here. And that too looks kind of off spot there. Or maybe it's just my parallax error.
Well, T-Mac looking in good shape here to continue strong and end Stephanie's run of victories here. As we mentioned, 6-0 and no problem on the spare. Another player a little bit farther back who's off to a strong start, who could use a big pop here in the early going. Kelly Kulik on 11 and 12, taking on Shannon O'Keefe. Both players bowling well, but Kelly still has 277 out there. We mentioned her being 110 pins back of the cut. So with Misaki kind of filling frames, but not striking too much. Brianna got that open up there. She's in a close match. Danielle looks like she's in position to gain some pins and get the win. But Kelly could be the big benefactor here in game 1 if she keeps it up.
Mugotani just left the 4-7-10 and cleared 2 out of it. So a pretty decent game turned quickly. And she's looking at maxing out at 227 now. That's if she clears the sheet. Kelly just had looks like a 9-pin. So she struck in the 8th, 9-pinned in the 9th. Now she can bowl 256. So Shannon O'Keefe is looking at a 239. Not a bad game, but obviously Kelly is in control of this match. She could put a little pressure here on Kelly if she clears the deck here in the 9th and the 10th. Make her work for it at least a little bit.
Of course.
That's a big double there for Stephanie Schwartz, one of our PTQ qualifiers. It's good to see a couple of those bowlers, 3 of those bowlers here in this top 12. Stephanie Schwartz, Ashley Rucker, and Misaki Mukotani, all coming from the PTQ.
Ashley and Misaki also qualifying for the Bowl TV Classic coming up on Monday and Tuesday to wrap up the Summer Classic Series. And folks, Curtis has been talking about all this great bowling going on around us. And if you're watching on Bowl TV now, you already know you can go through our navigation and actually pick to watch every single pair in play here at the Summer Classic Series. So you can follow your favorite athlete for literally every single shot they have across the house here at the ITRC. For the folks who are joining us on Facebook and YouTube, hello. Glad you can join us here and checking things out. We're going to be here for game number 1. So we're already past the halfway point, moving into the final few frames.
TikTok.
And if you want to continue watching beyond game 1, and we got that stepladder finals tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the IBC Classic, you're going to have to subscribe to Bowl TV.
Misaki Mukotani, 5 split in the 7th. She covers it. You can see it on the very edge of your screen. She needs to cover it in order to stay realistically in the 200s. And she has given Jen Higgins an advantage here. Late going. So some issues, and you can see the cover right there. Nice conversion. You can see that this thing can get away from you quick, and no lead is safe.
Zavala looking at another potential open here in the 8th, so gonna see if she can hit the 2 over there. Does not connect. Drops her max into the 180s. So Danielle McEwen has already won this match.
Yes, she has.
So the first loss for Zavala, but once again she can afford a small hiccup like this with the lead she has built.
The house that Stephanie builds is strong. So, and do you think she's panicking? No, not even a little bit.
No, the poise she's shown here in her rookie campaign has been very impressive. Her performances in the stepladder finals, especially facing her win in Cleveland early on, she faced an early open against Brianna Cote. Obviously, Brianna, a experienced player on this tour, a champion on this tour, was looking for her second title of the season at that point. And, for some players, that's an early open will quickly derail you in that sense, especially, if that's your first time. She was the top, first time bowling for a title, and was able to come back, bounce back, strike, put the pressure on, and get the victory.
And Kelly Kulick going to pick up the victory, early victory here. She needs she needs 3 pins in the final 2 shots. Let's go ahead and count it as a certainty that she's going to pick that one up. She's in at 236. Actually, no, she's already won. So she can bowl 256 here and pick up 86 pins with the bonus. That'll cover some ground pretty quickly, as Mukotani can max out at 210, but she can also get the victory here against Jen Higgins.
Jen's max 188.
Yeah, so Jen's at least given 12 up. Mukotani can pick up a decent amount toward her. And just like that, that 100-pin buffer you thought you had, all of a sudden it's gone. Just like that, blink of an eye.
Trouble for Danielle here, 9th frame. 4, 6, 7. Has the match in hand, but once again with some of the bigger scores and chasing the number. You want to get what you can get when you have it. Nice cover there by Stephanie Schwartz, 212, her max score. So Kote in a position now to
Pull that
get
one
this
out.
victory.
Yeah.
224 her max score. So if Schwartz would strike, she would need the strike 9 spare would be enough.
That it would put her at 13.
Some other updates from across the house. Sandra Gongora is going to get the victory against Verity Crawley. Sandra's going to be in the 230s, 237 it looks like, and Crawley can max out at 198. However, if she doesn't get the first hit in the 10th, that max will drop to 178. Ashley Rucker's going to get a win. She can still get into the 230s against Clara Guerrero. We talked about the Kulik and O'Keefe match, 256 to 228.
Stubborn 7-pin.
We've had a lot of those over both of these events so far. It's been a common theme.
The kind of a best case scenario for the chasers right now. You have Zavala, Crawley, Higgins, and Mukotani not bowling their best games. Musaki can now only bowl 197.
So that would be the high game out of the top 4.
That is, and fortunately for Musaki, she's bowling Jen Higgins, who can only bowl 178. So if Musaki keeps it clean here, all she needs to do is keep it clean. She just spare and fill some pins. She will beat Jen Higgins to minimize the damage from a kind of a lethargic first game.
Kote did get the first hit in the 10th, and 9 spare here will be enough. Sneak out 30 extra.
There's 9.
There's the 9. So she's got 15 at least, but once again, a player on the outside trying to get in. Take the extra 15 and run.
I know that we had a week where she missed a 10-pin in the final frame of her game to end up being in a tie to make the cut, and ended up losing that game.
That was against Valerie Bercier, I believe.
That was. Just goes to show you how important a pin here is, a pin there is. And then Aaron, you gotta think that after you miss that pin, yeah, you miss that spare, but you got to think about all the other wood you left on the table throughout the day. One break goes your way, or mental lapse here, chop a split here.
Yeah, it's easy. It's certainly easy to point at the things that happen at the end of the block, but yes, over the course of whether it's 9 games, 6 games, 12 games, whatever it may be, the odds are that wasn't the first miscue you've had along the way.
Mr. Hindsight comes swooping in.
Look at us go.
Look at us.
So McKeown with 223. So that is going to put her now. That's 416 with the pins plus the 30. So plus 446. Mukotani 187 plus the 30 for the victory. So she'll add 17 to her total. So she'll be at plus 426. So it looks like Danielle will jump ahead here and into the top 4. Just like that. Business picking up here at the IBC Classic. And folks, with the conclusion here, 223 to 160. Danielle over Stephanie. We're going to take this opportunity. If you're watching on BullTV.com, you're already all set to watch the final 5 games to determine our top 4 for tonight's stepladder finals at 9 p.m. Eastern time here. But for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, we're going to be taking the stream down from those 2 particular sites. So you'll have to head over to BullTV.com, but a few different subscriptions you can look at. You can pick up an event ticket to watch for the rest of the day, $8.95. If you want to watch the rest of today, the regional tomorrow, and then the Bull TV Classic on Monday and Tuesday, You can pick up a pass for $19.95. 3-step ladder finals in there. If you want to pick up a monthly recurring subscription to Bowl TV, which allows you not only to watch the live content like we're watching right now, but to also watch the archived events and on-demand content available on the site, you can pick one up for $9.95. So definitely a great deal to check that out. Monthly recurring subscription, $9.95. And the best way to support the PWBA Tour, an annual subscription, $79.95. Get to watch the rest of the PWBA Tour here in 2021 and into 2022 as well. Transaction fees do apply. And, of course, we have giveaways as well, along with a great Bowl TV community. During the step ladder finals tonight, just as a heads up, we're going to be giving away 3 brand new bowling balls. So you have to be on Bowl TV to be able to enter for a chance to win 3 brand new bowling balls. But, folks, we're going to take this opportunity. If you're watching on Bowl TV, we're going to take a quick reset. For the good folks on Facebook and YouTube, we hope to see you over on bowltv.com. But everybody, hang tight. Game 2, PWBA International Bowling Campus Classic, coming up next here on Bowl TV. Moving into game number 2 across the house. On 1 and 2, Sandra Gongora taking on Danielle McEwen. 3 and 4, Stephanie Schwartz against Clara Guerrero. Here on 5 and 6, Ashley Rucker against Shannon O'Keefe. Over on 7 and 8, Verity Crawley against Jen Higgins. Big matchup there. Brianna Cote and Kelly Kulik on 9 and 10. And then Misaki Mukotani taking on Stephanie Zavala. So we have a couple matchups of players who started this block in the top 4. So Curtis alluded to them having a pretty solid win-loss record. The players near the top of the leaderboard. Now they're probably going to start going head-to-head a little more often just based off of that. So another added twist to this bonus pin glory that we are experiencing right now.
Glory days. In the blink of a young man's eyes. Glory days. All right, Aaron Smith. Put on your lie detector hat. I have a fact or fiction for everybody.
Fact or fiction. Coming out of the gates here. I like it.
We are firing one off. In a recent archaeological discovery, archaeologists discovered a completely preserved pot of honey. And due to its molecular structure, is still as edible as the first day it was bottled. True or false?
We're talking about honey here, Curtis.
We are talking about honey.
It's a fun one.
Absolutely.
I'm curious what you do in your free time to collect this information.
Yeah, no, it would just depress you. I am a bastion of useless knowledge.
Oh, I like it because it makes me think every time.
Yeah. Oakley and Jillian say true. Ken says true. Joe says that's a fact. And Brian Hutstein also says true. Rebecca Jones says true. Wow. This is a resounding.
It's hard to go against the chat here.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you were going to poll the crowd, it's very clear that it would be go on the true side of true. And the answer is true. My question is, this jar of honey was found in a tomb of a pharaoh, basically, right? How much are you paying for that? If you want some ancient Egyptian pharaoh honey, I mean, what's the price point on that?
Well, that's a terrifying number, I'm sure. Verity. With the messenger there.
Come on, Verity.
That type of hit would earn some of that honey. But I feel the bigger question is if you were to purchase this said honey that you're speaking of here, that's incredibly old. It's been hanging out for a while. It's not bad though, so it's still good. Like I feel it's a special occasion honey, so you need to, when you wanted to use it, what would be the purpose? What would be the right type of purpose to go away from the honey you can pick up at the store and say, I need the good stuff right now.
I need the 4,000-year-old pharaoh honey. I don't know. You know, Nelson, I would not be the first person to want to taste it either, because I feel like that's the start of a horror film. I feel like there is this honey has to be cursed, and that you would gain some nefarious superpower if you ate it. So interesting fact though, as you got to like the start for Verity and Shannon, looking to build on the front three as well. Maybe they ate some enchanted pharaoh honey themselves, although that 2-pin not getting it done. Jen Higgins needs a rebound here. Rough start for Jen. She had a very impressive first block, and I was very impressed with how she bowled. She's really starting to get healthy. Really starting to go. Really starting to get her physical conditioning back in shape. She lost a lot of weight due to some issues she had in 2019, and she's a workout hound. She likes to get into the gym. She likes to be in peak physical condition, and she wasn't able to do that. And so, obviously, she, doesn't have a lot of weight to give, and so you need to keep that on. And in order to keep your ball speed up, in order to keep your conditioning up and your stamina, really, honestly. And so it's good to see her bowling well again. 2-8 there for Verity, ends her streak at 3.
And we've seen Jen a couple times. She's been making some cuts out there. She's been she's had some nice weeks. This has been the first real push toward a championship round appearance, though. And just based off of the look we've kind of seen from her, she had the early struggles here, but since making her move at the end of qualifying, she got off to such a she bowled great last block, and you expect her to get back into the rhythm of things here. But tough opponent, and some almost bonus position rounds here, if you will.
Yeah.
With some matchups for players in the top 4. So, or who started the block in the top 4.
You know how to get me extra excited, Aaron. Just say bonus position round. Nelson. Nelson. Yes, with the B pun here early in the block, sending one out. I guess you would have to be there, he says. Oh man, that is a B joke and a dad joke all wrapped into one absolute beautiful comment. Thank you. You get the useless Curtis Von Kruger comment award for the block. Oakley says, "Where's Brendan Fraser when you need one? When you need him? That man is a national treasure." What's your favorite Brendan Fraser movie? I would have to say easily mine is Encino Man.
It's been a while since I've seen that. I actually saw. I have recently seen The Mummy.
The Mummy's the original Mummy, the OG Mummy. We're talking here.
The original one. Yeah,
is a fantastic movie.
I enjoyed it.
He actually credits those movies to the degradation of his career because he did all of his own stunts, and the havoc it wreaked on his body created a lot of issues for him. So that's kind of sad. But Brendan Fraser, absolute national treasure in my opinion. See there, folks. You never thought we'd be talking about The Mummy and Brendan Fraser today, did you? You're welcome.
All right, folks, our first update now available after 16 total games.
Only 12 pins separate, or 22 pins now separating Jen Higgins and Danielle McEwen. 20 pins separates fourth from fifth Misaki Mukatani. And then Brianna Cote 39 out. Kelly Kulik only 61 out now. Did a lot of heavy lifting that last game there, Aaron.
Mm-hmm. Savala plus 636, Crawley plus 503, Higgins plus 468, McEwen plus 446. Now your top 4, as Curtis said. Mukotani plus 426, Cote plus 407, Kulik plus 385, Ashley Rucker plus 338, Claire Guerrero plus 272, Sandra Gongora plus 251, Shannon O'Keefe plus 248, Stephanie Schwartz plus 182.
Dan, yes, my name does sound like a diehard villain. I have been accused of that in the past. If Bruce Willis isn't dropping me off the top of the building, is it really Christmas? That's another question. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
I was gonna throw that out there for you, Curtis. I know that's a thing.
It is a thing. I say 100% Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Jen Higgins, nice little rebound here. Mine in the pocket, 259 possible for her. 253 possible for Verity after a slight hiccup. And Dan, of course, as we've discussed in the past, your name sounds like you'd be the person taking me down. I mean, how cool is that, Dan Hawk? I mean, that's just a hardcore name. Jennifer coming in with the hot take: Die Hard and Gremlins, both Christmas movies. I agree. Verity Crawley with an open there. Puts the ball back in Jen Higgins' court. And this is a match she wants to win. She's only 34 pins behind Verity, so a win against her would most certainly ensure a pass up there, as they just keep passing it back and forth. 1-2-10 there for Jen. She'll look to cover that washout. Very makeable, though, Aaron. Very makeable. Let's see. Shannon looking to cover one. Ooh, can't get that 7-pin to fall forward. It's got a shot there for Jen. Oh, slaps out that 10-pin. Nice cover there in an important spot. Preserving her lead there. She can push that lead to 15 pins with a strike here, with 236 possible and only 221 possible for Verity. Oh, she did not like that one off her hand. All right. Things just got a little more interesting. 224 now possible for Jen. Still has a 3-pin lead here if Verity can double or get a strike in the 8th. Sarah Hood says, I could make $1 million as Andrew Lincoln's stunt double. You know what? I have been actually told that before, and which I am at no point in time going to ever complain about. The two people I've been told I look like is Lindsey Buckingham and Andrew Lincoln. So I'm not going to complain about it.
Curtis, I had to admit I had no idea who Andrew Lincoln is.
Walking Dead.
So I went to the
Oracle,
to the Google, and the first picture that pops up is eerily similar. And I said, "Whoa, what's Curtis doing there with a tie on?"
I know it's not a bad thing, especially when I got the gray beard going and the short hair. It's a good thing. Big strike there for Verity. Double here would put some big pressure on Jen to match whatever Verity can do, and Jen can step up and throw the next 3 and 8 to lock Verity out with a strike here. Okay, there we go. And Jen Higgins needs a strike in the 9th, first 2 in the 10th, and 8 pins to take home this victory. And potentially here, actually not pass her up at all. It's actually, she's not going to pass her. She is, depending, of course, what Verity does. Oh,
It's trouble.
that is absolutely trouble. We saw her cover the 1-2-10. 2-4-10, a little bit of a taller order here. Still very, very makeable. You can get steep on that 2-pin, send it across the deck, take out that 10 pretty easily. But it's still a tall order, especially in this particular spot.
Update from 11 and 12. Stephanie Zavala. She's back. She's okay. Don't worry, folks. Higgins just gets the 2. She can finish with 238. Going to get the win against Misaki, who can max out at 207. So Misaki, after rattling off a couple wins to start match play earlier today, it's going to fall to 1-1 so far here, round 2.
Stephanie throwing down a very clean game. Very clean game. And as we said, she always has just a little bit of problems on the fresh. Just the very, the bright-eyed and bushy-tailed fresh. Once you get a game or two down it, looks like things open up for her just a little bit. And then she's able to take care of it. And Jen is going to really... She can now max out at 190. That means Verity would just really need to keep it clean.
Mm-hmm.
A mark in the 10th and it's game over. So a kind of a gift there for Verity. Kelly Kulik kind of struggling here against Brianna Cote. That's double wood too there. She covers it expertly.
Looks like Danielle is going to potentially drop this matchup against Sandra Gongora on 1 and 2. Danielle can get to 196. They spare and a strike on her fill ball. So Sandra would just need good count on her first shot. She can still get to 235. Ashley Rucker's going to collect this victory. 189 for Higgins.
Okay. As we've seen, splits are lurking out there, so Verity needs to make a good shot. Just take a deep breath. Make a good shot. And take home the victory and move forward here. A nice bail for Misaki. Although she doesn't pick up the victory. She bowls 207. So she's not going to throw any pins away.
Nah, she's gaining. Danielle's not going to, or more than likely not going to get the victory here. And wasn't going to be in the 190s, so she's going to gain.
Nice. That's good.
Gain a couple pins.
Verity throws that first one down. So she's going to pick up that victory. Looks like she's throwing a fast pitch like she did at the beginning of last block. She did eventually move into reactive later on. But you see that lots of urethane with about 1,000 scuffed up on it. Seems to be about the strategy early. And unless your name is Stephanie Zavala, you're going to move into urethane a little later. 186 for Kelly. That means Brianna just needs to keep it clean against her, and she'll take home the victory there.
If she can put together some strikes, though, she can still get to 222 with the 30. She would move into the top 4.
Yes, she would.
Currently a plus 407. Danielle's going to drop to... She's at 196. Gongora opened the 10th, but was still enough to get the victory, 202 to 196. So that means McCune is dropping to...
You saw Verity throw
442.
You saw Verity throw a different ball there in the fill. Kind of testing the water. Smart move. Oh, and looks like Brianna Cote 248 here. She does not appreciate. It's not the easiest cover in the world. You got the double wood. And so she needs to pick this up in order to move into victory. You can see it in the very corner of your screen right there. She needs to get, actually, she needs to get 2, actually. She only needs to get 2 out of this. She does not need to cover it.
Oh.
Whew. Well, that's going to do it, though. 187 to 186. She'll pick up the bonus pins, but Aaron, she's still not happy about that.
No, that would have given her an opportunity to tighten things up with, or even more so with McCune and Mukotani. But she's still, it's close, folks. We'll just say that. It's super duper close.
C. Nelson is just making my day right now. He's running with the honey subplot we have going here. And I just utterly appreciate it. So you are my chat champion today. You know, all in all, I think I look forward to the chat the most almost. I mean, obviously the bowling is the main meal, but I will say that the chat is the wedge salad with chunky blue cheese and bacon. Or maybe, should I say, it's the St. Elmo's shrimp cocktail, while the bowling is the ribeye.
Ooh.
You know what kind of a compliment that is?
I 100% I know what that is. Yes. No, and what that means to you, Curtis.
It does. I say that with all sincerity, and nothing I say lightly.
Well, there we go, folks. And with that, game 3 ready to get underway here. International Bowling Campus Classic, match play round 2. Just 4 games remain before we know our top 4 for the step ladder finals. Before we get you the rundown of who is where this game, I want to give a big shout out to RotoGrip, one of our gold partners here on the PWBA Tour. And everything the good folks at RotoGrip do is put to... Let's start that over. That was rough. Not my best start. Everything the good folks at... Wow, I'm all over the place. Everything the good folks at RotoGrip do is to put you in a position to dominate. They make equipment that makes you your best, because that's not your name up there next to your score. It's your reputation. Be sure to visit rotogrip.com to view their complete line of high-performance bowling balls. Big thank you to RotoGrip for their continued support here on the PWBA Tour. And folks, we also want to thank RotoGrip for helping us give away a bowling ball during the stepladder finals later tonight. So one of the 3 bowling balls that will be given away, a RotoGrip bowling ball of your choice, will be going out to one lucky winner.
There must be something up. Lanes 1 and 2 must be possessed by an evil dummy or evil mummy, if you will. Because Stephanie Zavala just sent one in the channel there. And it never read the lane at all. And it just slid. And at 40 feet, it was in the channel.
She's taking on Jen Higgins over there. So once again, another top 4 matchup here. Ongoing bonus position rounds, folks. Making Curtis happy.
Yep, and she and Stephanie's in a different ball too. She switched. Same. It's the Honey Badger intensity this time, so it's the reactive version of the urethane she's throwing.
Making the change up there.
Yes.
Brianna Cote against Shannon O'Keefe on 3 and 4. In front of us here, Misaki Mukutani taking on Sandra Gongora, 5 and 6. Kelly Kulik against Clara Guerrero on 7 and 8. Verity Crawley against Danielle McCune on 9 and 10. And Ashley Rucker against Stephanie Schwartz, 11 and 12.
I'm gonna ask a request. Can we put up that Verity Danielle match? That's intrigue for me.
All right, let's see. What pair was that, Curtis? I'm sorry. That was 9 and 10, right?
Yeah, 9 and 10. Hold on. Oh, Misaki almost with that conversion there. I think this is a really important match for Danielle and Verity. Verity did test the waters with another ball in the fill of last game, but it looks like she's still sticking with the urethane. Playing right, keeping her angles in front of her. Good start to the game here. Really closed down angles. Little high there. Read the lane a little too early. Comes up high on the head pin. Lucky to only be a 9. Good 9 leave there. You should cover this pretty easily. Top 4, Stephanie Zavala, Verity Crawley, Jen Higgins, and Danielle McEwen are your top 4. But Misaki only 9 pins out. Brianna Cote 18 out. Ashley Rucker and Kelly Kulik both 71 out at 371. Clara Guerrero 103. Sandra Gongora 159. From there, the gap only widens, but that's not insurmountable for anybody. I mean, you got to get moving now. Now is the time to move, but the scores aren't exactly astronomical at the moment. So if you can rattle off a big game, beat the right person, you can insert yourself into this conversation. Dan Verity is throwing the fast pitch. It's a ball she likes. She likes that fast pitch a lot. I think it's her preferred urethane ball. A lot of players, obviously, they like the pitch black. It's a very solid ball, but I see Verity throwing that more often than the other. And I see Danielle throw the pitch black a little bit more.
I know Cindy Brumman, a big fan of the pitch black as well.
Yes.
And folks, saw a few comments in the chat about it. We do have Danielle at plus 442, so you can disregard that 342 up there.
Yes.
Plus 442.
Stephanie Zavala still with the best match play record at 7-1, followed by Misaki Mukutani at 6-2. And then you have a couple of 5 and 3s, and then a slew of 4 and 4s. The ball's got to get up and go. 7-pin there for Verity.
Talked about it a little bit earlier today, as well as last night. Verity Crawley, the only player to make the top 12 in both the Go Bowling Classic and the IBC Classic, which in turn means she's the only player to make match play for all three events here at the Summer Classic Series. We had 3 players do that in January at the at the Kickoff Classic. Shannon O'Keefe, Lindsay Boomershine, and Jillian Martin. But Verity proving her versatility so far. 43 foot, she makes the show. 38 feet, in position to make a show.
Absolutely.
Jen Higgins started off with the front 5 against Zavala over on 1 and 2. Looking at it, back-to-back 9 spares in the 6th and the 7th. Zavala, after that miscue with the gutter in the second frame, spare in the 3rd, throttled off 3 in a row. Good matchup between Brianna Cote and Shannon O'Keefe right now in 3 and 4. Misaki is, potentially feeling some of the pressure of being in position to make a show for the first time here on the PWBA Tour as DMAC gets the slow roll on the 4. Another slow start out there.
You need some of those. You need some of those to happen your way. The best thing you can do here now is just absolutely bury one.
Mm-hmm.
You get the lucky break. You get some of that fruit salad, if you will. And now you want to come back and just absolutely bury one. Take advantage of the luck, double down, and call it a day. Just like that. I would say that that's how you want to play that one. Big 3 in a row there for Danielle McEwen. 280 possible for her still. 268 possible for Verity. Excuse me, 270. Yeah, 280. I can't do math today, Aaron. I'm on the struggle bus.
The struggle bus can be real. Usually is on a Nick Hoagland pattern.
Yes. Little light shaker there, 7-pin. We have seen a ton of those. A ton of those little light mixers leaving that 7-pin. You got a bunch of wood in front of it. Just kind of think you might get the hit, and then you don't.
Good old swashbuckling 7 that doesn't walk the plank.
Army matey.
Full circle moments here on Bolt TV. Covers the spare, but is down in the matchup right now. Jen Higgins can still shoot 268, 9th and 10th left to go. Stephanie Zavala can't get to 259. So the difference in that match might end up being that gutter on the spare.
I feel like it's time to change things up there, Aaron. I think I might rustle up some insight here as we have now accumulated some pretty good audience members. So let's go. Let me go see if I can bring somebody in.
Sounds good, Curtis.
I haven't disappointed yet, so let's see what happens.
That last shot from McCune did not disappoint. 270 still out there. I think we're going to make a quick switch over to 1 and 2 to catch the end of this Higgins-Zavala match.
All right, Aaron. I managed to find somebody. You'll know it. You'll know her, and you'll love her. A 2-time titleist already this year on tour, currently in the lead for points.
I think I know who that is.
I think she was runner-up for Rookie of the Year in 2019. The great Julia Bond coming in here joining us. She'll get to talk a little bit about bowling and maybe a little bit about some other stuff. Ask her about her new dog.
Her new dog.
She has a new dog, and we'll ask if anybody understands the reference for the dog's name. So I'll just tease that, and we'll bring Julie in right now.
All right, so we make the switch here. Zavala did not get that first hit, so 238 her max score. Higgins will need a mark to collect the win in the bonus pins here. .237 still out there for Brianna Cote. 259 the max score for Shannon O'Keefe, and looks like Julia is ready to go. So hello, Julia. How are you doing today?
Hello, how are you? I heard my introduction. It was quite impressive.
It was, and I'm going. Now I'm intrigued. I gotta go straight to the dog question first. So you have a new dog.
We do. We got a new puppy, and it was like a surprise puppy. Unfortunately, we lost our family dog in December, and it's been a little bit of time since. And unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to go to Lucy. I had a wedding to go to, which was nice, and it was fabulous, and we had a good time. But then I came home Sunday, and lo and behold, we have a puppy.
Oh.
So that was really exciting. And so it's been a couple of days. I barely got to spend, less than 12 hours, with this puppy. So I don't really know anything what he's like. But I called my dad the other day. And I was like, so, you've got to spend some time with him. Does he, personality, what are you feeling? My dad's like, well, I have an idea, but your mom really hates it. And I'm like, well, okay, let's give it a go. Let's see what it is. And he said, Cephas.
Cephas.
And I was like, excuse me? I don't understand what you're saying. He's like, Cephas. And I was like, all right, Dad, you need to get me something because I have no idea what that means. And he's just like, well, Google Hank Williams Jr. And I feel like I already gave away the reference and like what it means. But, for those of you who don't know, Hank Williams Jr. is a fabulous, singer-songwriter. And I guess his dad nicknamed him, Cephas. And I was just like, so we're going to really call this dog Cephas? Like, can we just call it Bo? He's just like, yeah, we're just going to call it Bo. And I guess this is where my dad and I disagree. He says Cephas means little buddy. And that was the name of our dog before, was Buddy. And so I was just like, all right, Dad, I see what you're doing. You're getting me on the Cephas train. So, but yeah, that's our puppy. So we'll see. We'll see if that sticks. Again, I don't know. Again, I've never heard of that name or that reference up until now. If anybody else has, please let me know because I thought it was this really obscure reference, but I've asked a couple people already, and it seems like this is a thing. So please tell me if Bocephus means anything, to anybody, and if they've heard it before, because I certainly haven't.
Well, I like having the bow for short. And
Right.
then when you have all the paperwork, when the doggy graduation papers, you have Bocephus on it.
Exactly.
So that works out. What type of dog?
He is a Brittany.
All right.
So very pretty dog, very fabulous. They have great noses. They're very good, as hunting dogs and waterfowl. So yeah, our dog before, he was a Brittany mixed with a English Springer Spaniel. So my dad's had a Brittany before, when he was younger, and that's just how there's just certain breeds that you like and you keep within the family. I think for us, that's a Brittany.
Excellent. Well, congratulations to the family on the new dog, and welcome to Bo from Bowl TV as well. So
Thank you.
There we go. We'll get to probably a fun question for you. Well, maybe not so much fun, but last evening, you had to wait around to see about that overall score for the Bowl TV Classic. You had that big 299 in the back half of the block. And how did you feel about that number for making the Bowl TV Classic, knowing how important it is to get to bowl that final event here of the Summer Classic Series?
Right. I mean, that's what kept me going. I didn't really get off to a good start. Yesterday was pretty much a struggle from start to finish for me. And, that's kind of where you have to dig deep and you have to find something, even when you feel like there's nothing really out there for you to find. It was a lot of just staying present, staying mentally there and still thinking, not just throwing shots away, still trying to gather as much information as possible, from my shot making, whether it be good or whether it be bad. So that 299 definitely makes the block a little worthwhile. And again, it got me back into the number, to get into that. I think I was minus 50 before that game. So shooting 299 gets me back to 40. And unfortunately, I had a 179 after that, but that's not too much ground loss. And then I shot about a 220 the next game to get me, plus 45. And, that was enough combined with my other score to make it into the top 24 and, a chance at another title, which is what it's all about. So again, just sometimes you don't see the picture, sometimes the shape that you need to create and, what your brain and your body just aren't cooperating and you just can't quite get everything to kind of go into place. But, it happens to the best of us, but, you still have to, make your shots, make your spares and, do the best you can with what you have. So that's what we try to do.
Absolutely. And we're watching on 9 and 10 here, and Verdi catching a break from Danielle, who opened the 10th frame, needed the first hit, now needs good count on her second shot to sneak away with this victory. We'll see if she can get that there and trips the 2.
Nice. That's what I love about match play, is that we get put into these situations, and as a player, it's so exhilarating, but as a spectator, it's just so awesome to watch.
And taking a look at real quick in the Bowl TV chat, Bocephus is yes, folks know about Bocephus. So
okay, good.
So definitely definitely associated with Hank Jr. as well. So.
Okay, good, because I was worried. I was just like, Dad, our puppy's gonna be made fun of by other people. But again, that's what I'm learning. Bocephus is actually something that people know, and so like I said, it's growing on me. So I'm really excited that people get the reference and know what Bocephus is.
Now, Julia, with the way the format works here at the Classic Series events, you were going to have off on Sunday regardless. You got today off as well. How are you kind of using this time? Obviously, you're here at the Bowling Center watching, probably cheering on a few folks, but how are you kind of using this downtime to prepare for the 24 games you have coming up on Monday and Tuesday?
Right, I'm just using it as a reset. Like I said, I didn't particularly bowl in this pattern. So being here is nice for myself as a learning experience because, even though this is my second official year on tour and I've won 2 titles, that doesn't mean that I'm not still out here trying to learn and trying to, learn from other people who are more experienced than I. So it's nice to see where people are playing the lanes and how they've changed and, seeing what I could have done or, a different just seeing a different perspective on how the lanes could have been played. So it's nice to just kind of take a step back and no longer, again, be like an active player, be more of, again, I'm a spectator. I have to, I'm literally a spectator. And so just to kind of take a step back and support my friends and like you said, have a good day to just kind of like I said, take a step back and just kind of separate myself, from my last performance. Cause I was pretty bummed out, that I couldn't get it together there, and put a good block together. But again, that's in the past, like I said, I'm out here learning, not to beat myself up, but just see what I could do different. So again, it's more just kind of relaxing, taking that step back. So it's been nice. It's nice to kind of have this break, because now we're going to 24 games of round robin match play. So I need to conserve a little bit of that energy coming up.
Well, the good news is that 24 game stretch, you're pretty familiar with navigating it already. So you've had the chance to experience that and end up taking home the title as well, way back at the Hall of Fame Classic. So I'm sure some nice memories just coming back here to the ITRC, being able to reflect on that victory back in January.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anytime we come to the ITRC, it's always a good time. It's a place of familiarity, and it's just a special place to be. I mean, you have all the flags, you have, the photos of Team USA and Junior Team USA. So I just love being here, and I think other people do too. And there's just a really great energy being here because everyone in this building just loves bowling. The staff and the spectators, and so it's always nice to be here. So I'm really excited to go through this format again and to do it again here. Again, based off the track record. So that's nice. I have that going for me.
That is true, and since that was the first time we're having the Classic Series, you're the only person to figure out that last event so far. So no one else has that in this entire field.
Right. I'm really excited also about the format is that everything gets to start over. So technically I'm the 20th, seed, but again, that doesn't really mean anything. And so it's just, as like a placeholder. So it's nice that the scores start over. So it's literally a fresh start. So everything that's happened beforehand, I can just, learn from it, let it go, and then just go out and bowl, and just start over. So I'm really excited that we all start from zero, moving forward.
That good old our 24 place tie for first right now. So
yes.
And of course, a third pattern coming out for that. So you'll have the opportunity to get the practice session on that tomorrow morning. So that information has not been revealed just yet. So I know everyone eagerly awaiting to see the final pattern here at the Summer Classic Series. As we get into Game 4 here of the IBC Classic, joined by Julia Bond. Julia, you made a great run at the show at the Go Bowling Classic. You gotta be happy with the overall performance, but I'm sure the competitor in you was hoping for that chance to sneak into that show. Oh yeah, for sure. It is. I mean, and that's the beauty of match play and the sport that we play is that you can only ever really ask for a chance. So, had the opportunity, made my shots and, won a couple matches and, just got beat a couple times, and that's what bonus pins do for you. They can either really help you out or, have, jump a lot of places. So, and I just really love the format. So yeah, I came up a little short, but about 15 pins. So that kind of stung a little bit, but all you can ever do is ask for a chance. And I feel like I gave myself the best chance that day. So it's okay. Again, it's all a learning experience. So, just chipping away just a little bit every time, just chipping away. And we talked a lot at Queens when you went on to win your second major. And you really talked a lot about just having the, a more consistent performance from event to event. I know that was a big thing for you moving into this season, something to take away from your rookie year. And now that we're essentially, kind of hitting that 3/4 mark of the season, just kind of putting in terms how would you grade your 2021 performance so far?
Well, that's a very good question. Like a letter grade?
Like a letter grade, GPA, whatever you're feeling. I would say an A-.
I feel like for the most part, I've been very, very proud of my performances. You know, there's been a little hiccups here and there. Like there was those stretch of tournaments when we were in New York after Queens, where I went like 15th place, 14th place, 14th place. So I was like this close to making those top 12 and like getting those extra games and potentially make, another TV show. It's so, and again, that's just where I think a little bit of experience comes in and learning how to make certain decisions faster and to trust myself a little bit more. But I've definitely gotten way better than I was in 2019. Sometimes it would take me forever to get out of a bowling ball, or I would be a little bit more kind of reserved or a little conservative. Like it'd be like, okay, we need to move like a 6 and 4 less, and I'm like, a 6 and 4, like I don't know, guys. Whereas now I'm very, very open to making those moves, in either direction, or just switching out of a bowling ball if I'm not seeing what I need to see. So, and again, I've gotten better at it, but I can certainly have room for improvement. So I think that's where the A- comes from, is that so far I've been making good choices and the right choices, which is something that my ball reps have told me, which is really nice. And it makes me, it's validating to be told that you're making, the right decisions. They might not be always at the right time, but my mind's in the right place. So I'm very happy with that. So we're going to go with an A-.
An A-. All right. I like that.
Thank you.
It's a good grade. I would take that. Love that on the report card. So
Awesome.
one final thing, and we'll let you get back to enjoying the action here. Just as far as this oil pattern is going, and kind of what you're seeing out there right now. We had a lot of movement back and forth during the first block. Stephanie Zavala obviously finding something, winning some matches, and creating some separation. But as far as the lane play out there right now, what have you kind of been seeing out here? And who you think is going to potentially make a run in these final few games to make this top 4?
Well, based off of qualifying, I feel like there's, or at least in, we were in 2 different squads. So what I saw in my squad is that we created a nice little room, like we could get the ball right and we had no problem shaping it, which was really nice. So in the later games, it was just kind of like blown open. So all you really had to do is get it to your spot down lane and of course have the right bowling ball. So I think that's kind of where you saw a little bit of those high scores, especially for Stephanie Zavala. Like she was on my pair, so I got to see how she was playing those lanes and the angles that she was creating, and she had the right ball in her hand. She used the purple hammer, basically, not the purple hammer, but the purple urethane ball, excuse me, basically the whole day. And it was fabulous and it was great and it worked. And then what I've noticed here is that, there's less people, less games going on. And it seems like, and kind of like something that we see normally is that the more a pattern gets put down, the flatter it kind of becomes. And so what I've noticed here is that the angles aren't quite as steep. I see a lot of people being more in front of themselves, firmer ball speeds, balls that want to slow down, that aren't going to be so jumpy and quick. Whereas like yesterday in qualifying, you can kind of have those quicker balls. You can throw it right and then kind of watch it scream back a little bit. Whereas now that's not necessarily the case. So again, definitely flatter. Not so much room right. So a little touchy. Feels a little bit touchier. So that's my assessment.
I gotcha. We do have a quick score update as well after game number 3 here in match play round number 2. Zavala continuing to lead at plus 689. Verity Crawley, though, getting in distance here, plus 609 in second place. Jen Higgins at plus 555 in third. Danielle McEwen in fourth, plus 457. Misaki Mukutani, the first player out, 15 pins back at plus 442. Brianna Cote, 20 back, plus 437. Clara Guerrero, plus 372. Ashley Rucker, plus 356. Kelly Kulik, plus 338. And Stephanie Schwartz, plus 322. Well, Julia, since we're getting into the excitement at the end of match play here, we will let you go. We'll let you be a fan while you're learning there. And I know you got some folks you're cheering on there. So I want to thank you as always for joining us here on Bowl TV. We look forward to seeing you at the Bowl TV Classic coming up on Monday and Tuesday. And best of luck the rest of the way out.
Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Thanks, Julia.
Thanks.
right, folks, that was Julia Bond joining us here, and we're going to be right back here for the back half of the International Bowling Campus Classic, and we'll have another guest joining us in just a moment as well. So everybody hang tight. We'll be back with Game 4 in just a moment here on Bowl TV. All right, folks, cruising along, game number 4 of 6 here at the International Bowling Campus Classic. Before we get you the quick rundown of who's where here for the final game, we gave you the standing just a couple of moments ago. But I want to give a big shout out to Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of the PWBA Tour. With products for bowling centers, coaches, and mechanics, Kegel is truly built for bowling. Be sure to visit kegel.net to learn more about all they do for our great sport. Around the house here in Game 4 on lanes 1 and 2, Kelly Kulik taking on Stephanie Schwartz. On 3 and 4, we have Misaki Mukutani taking on Danielle McCune. Big matchup right there. On 5 and 6, Clara Guerrero versus... on 5 and 6, excuse me. Verity Crawley taking on Stephanie Zavala. Another big matchup there, essentially a position round matchup here in Game 4. On 7 and 8, we have Brianna Cote taking on Ashley Rucker. On 9 and 10, Clara Guerrero taking on Shannon O'Keefe. And then on 11 and 12, we have Sandra Gongora and Jen Higgins. But folks, I promised a special guest joining us here, and she's actually going to be joining us here from the Bowl TV booth. So I'm very excited to be welcoming in PWBA Tour champion, former Rookie of the Year, Daria Payuk to the show.
Hi.
Hello. It's great to see you once again. Thanks for joining us here at the Bowl TV studio. How'd you like the tour?
I did love it. It was the first time I'm here, and just sitting here is very cool because all I could see is just through Bowl TV, and I was always wondering, how does this studio look like? And it's actually even cooler than I thought it would be. So I'm very happy to be here, and I hope we can hang out for a long time.
Absolutely, and we got the Daria stamp of approval, so that is always excellent. So we appreciate that. We're going to go back to full screen here, folks. But Daria's going to be sticking around, talking bowling with us here as we get down to the final few games of the IBC Classic. Daria, you had the opportunity to compete on this 38-foot condition. You gave us some excitement over on 13 and 14 with a run at 300. Tell us a little bit about just some of the characteristics of this pattern and kind of what you think the players out there right now are experiencing as they kind of get into this block.
I think that the pattern is very playable that you are playing to start with, and I did myself start off with a very big game of 277, just playing straight up with urethane, and I did spray it everywhere. And when I missed left, it held. When I missed right, it came back. So that gave me a feeling like, wow, urethane is going to be really in play, and it was. But unfortunately for me, it did go away really fast as the fronts really burned out. So I think that the girls that can stay long with urethane and make it work can really get very high scores throughout the first 2.5 games. I think it gets really tricky to where you have to get off of urethane and then get into the reactive, because when you don't stay left enough, you don't create enough angle to get pushed, and the pattern still is very sharp in the back end, so it's very easy to get 4 through the middle, big 5. So I think just controlling the back part of the pattern once you get off of urethane is crucial for scoring okay in those middle games. And the moment that the pattern blows out open, you just have to take every opportunity you can to strike, because it gives you more room to miss when it's open. And I'm not sure how the girls have broken up the pattern this evening, but I do think that the high scores are soon to be happening in the last 2 games of the round robin.
And here we're watching Verity Crawley. I found out she's your ride today, so you'll be hanging out with us for a little bit. So that's some good stuff right there. And unfortunately, gets that one a little bit too far right. And that's kind of been one of the things here we've seen at the ITRC, where if you get the ball to that out of bounds, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I do think it's very tricky, especially with the amount of urethane that had been thrown this round. So I do believe if there was not much urethane there, she would still manage to get it back. She's throwing a very strong ball at Spartan Physics from Storm. So I do believe it will come back, but she unfortunately hit the mark when she was going with the urethane and where Stephanie was there. So I think it's tricky because she doesn't have as much room as I think she would have if not the urethane all going down the lane in previous games.
Does convert the spare to stay in the match right now as we get to the 9th and 10th here in Game 4. Taking a quick look around the house at some of the other matchups ongoing. Looks like Sandra Gongora is going to collect the victory against Jen Higgins on 11 and 12. Excuse me. We got Kelly Kulik in control of her matchup on 1 and 2 against Stephanie Schwartz. Misaki Mukutani having a big game here Front four hadn't opened, a couple spares. Now in doubles, she can get to 246 against Danielle McEwen, who has a max of 213. And then here on our featured pair, we see Ashley Rucker has already sealed up the victory against Brianna Cote, 246. Verity bounces back with the strike in the ninth in this matchup against Zavala. Zavala getting ready for the ninth here. Looking to keep the advantage. That one's going to come in a little bit light, 2-4-10. The 210s have been frustrating. It's been frustrating for us watching up here, seeing a lot of good shots, Daria, that we think are going to make the turn, and then all of a sudden just end up going just a tad too far and leaving 210s. We saw a little bit more during the Go Bowling Classic, but you were one of the few players who it seemed like you could get the ball to come back from a little bit farther with your rev rate. You had a great run at that event. Tell us a little bit about, just your comfort level on that pattern as it kind of progressed. Nice cover there by Stephanie.
Wow, that's very good. The girls are picking up very hard spares with Verity, making a washout, and Stephanie 2-4-10. It's a good match. Everything is going to be done in 10 frames. So
max now for Stephanie is 189. So Verity can step up here, double in the 10th, and lock out. As you know, once again, this is a 1-2 matchup here. 80 pins the difference. So that 30 bonus pins is huge here and potentially determining the number one seed with 2 games left to go. We'll see Stephanie get ready for the 10th. That one was definitely left compared to the last one. Leaves the 4-pin. So now Verity just needs the first one to sneak out the extra 30 pins. All right, with the spare here, Daria, we're going to bring in Curtis Von Kruger from the ITRC as well, who's been joining us throughout the course of the day. So, Curtis, I brought a special guest this time.
Wow. We're
Daria,
bringing the heat today.
long time no see.
Wait a minute. How are you, Daria?
I'm very good, thanks. I wish I was bowling, but it's also very cool to watch the girls bowl. I love the format with the extra pins. It makes everything so exciting. So it's very cool to stay behind and root for Verity, especially when she's bowling so great.
Verity has been bowling well. She's been on fire ever since she pried off her first win. How was that celebration that night? I know it was a little bittersweet for you. How was that celebration that night, though?
No, it was a great night. I do remember having my first win against Verity, and I remember us celebrating it all together. It was a really cool night, and just as we celebrated for my win with Verity winning, it was great. Unfortunately, we had an early flight next day, so we didn't go hard or anything. We just had a very cool dinner in a British restaurant somewhere downtown in Nashville. It was a really cool time, and it was very cool, to celebrate something that she's been wanting for so long, and she was knocking on the door for such a long time, and I felt like finally she has the confidence knowing that she can just win anytime she really wants, and when she puts a lot of work into it. So it's all about just getting the strikes together, having some luck maybe sometimes here and there, but her work ethic is amazing, and I believe she can really do a lot in our sport.
Gets a little love there with the 4-pin, and that's going to do it for that match. Obviously, just keep it on the lane, call it a day, and that's going to close a little bit of a gap. We thought this was a pretty large lead by Stephanie Zavala, but a couple of mishaps here and there, and Verity, of course, bowling very well. And all of a sudden, you look at a 150 plus lead going into tonight with 2 to go. That has been drastically narrowed. A double here would be really nice for her. Get 24. Oh, that one kind of just out the window a little bit there.
I feel like this lane is really tricky. She did strike when she needed to, so that's really cool because I think that it was very hard to predict the ball motion down lane on the right lane. So having the first strike was big. I'm happy she's getting off that lane because it seems like if she doesn't get it right, it goes face. If she gets it too far right, it's 210. So that's not the best player-friendly pair, I think, in the building right now.
Yeah, 5 and 6, we have seen some struggles. 1 and 2, 5 and 6 have been kind of pairs that have kind of played havoc. You get to the higher end of the house, 9 and 10, 11 and 12 have been pretty friendly, a little more friendly than some of the other pairs right now, where you see a lot of higher scores over there. How for you? You know, you experienced match play obviously in the first tournament and bold qualifying. How did you kind of deal with the pair to pair?
Oh, I didn't deal very well with it. But to be honest, I loved being there. I loved competing. And the fact that one game can change the whole dynamic of the position standings and everything, it was great because you can bowl 250, get 30 pins, and then here you go, you have 80 more pins. I loved how fast you could catch up. I also loved how fast you can just fall. So I just love that every game, everything was changing. Changing pair to pair was tricky. And I think this is why Verity is doing so well. It's her understanding of the balls and the pattern is so good. I believe like there is not that many people in the building that have such a big understanding on the equipment and the moves as she does. She works on it very hard at Kego with JJ and all the other coaches. I think her being able to really change balls and knowing exactly what the ball is going to do and just making wild guesses sometimes, it's all at the end of the day, educated guesses had helped her to really maintain good games and really just get good scores together.
You know, it reminds me of another player who kind of has that knowledge and that understanding and sometimes can make some really bold moves. And that's Norm Duke. And Verity kind of has that veracity and understanding of, you know, when she lets go of a ball, what it's going to do down lane, which gives her the ability to kind of do things that other players cannot. And, you know, sometimes it comes down to just really getting those demons, you know, exercising the demons a little bit to really unlock your full potential. And it really just seems like Verity has done that. And so it has been a big pleasure to watch her over the last few tournaments as she kind of starts to really show her true potential, because the physical tools have always been there. There's very few bowlers who throw it as good as you and Verity throw the ball. So it's been a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, I think there is a lot more better tournaments for Verity to come, and she's gonna be the one to watch, the one to learn from. I love having her as my friend, my roommate, because we do exchange ideas, opinions. We brainstorm about different things. We talk about bowling a lot. I always go to her for advices about the ball. Sometimes even during the games, I show her two balls. She just points at one. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll try. So she's the person that I really trust, just as I trust the ball reps. But she is my another voice that gives me her opinion. And I really know that she's giving me her best educated guess. And just because I know of how educated she is on all of that, I really trust, and I always commit to whatever she suggests to me. And it's just bouncing back the ideas. When I did have that 289 game, Verity was a little bit stuck on the left of me, and she was ball changing. She was trying different balls, and I threw the IQ tour that was shiny. And she came up to me later and said, you know what, I wanted to change the ball and throw something different, but then I saw you with the IQ tour and roll so well, so I just ended up switching to IQ tour. And I think that's the ball that really led her to make the cut, because she finished off really strong the block to make it into today. So I do feel like our games complement each other, and we can really, really feed off each other when it comes to ball motion and what balls to choose, how to play the lanes, and all of that.
That's a nice advantage to have such a strong ally out there on the lanes, and such a great relationship. And honestly, the road can be hard and it can be lonely at times, as you guys are probably no strangers to. But having a couple of your best friends out here to comfort you and pick you up when you're down and support you when you need it, it's got to make things a lot easier.
Yes, it does. And just having three of us, Diana, Verity, and I, it's a very big support system because we understand each other so well. We understand each other's dynamics. I think it's a really cool fun fact that we've been traveling on the road together just for the PWBA ever since 2017. So that's the 4th year right now, and we have not fought once. We never really had an argument, and I think it's quite cool. We do know each other's on our lows. We know how we behave, and we kind of learn how to deal with each other. And I'm upset, I'm down, I tend to just disappear. I walk away, I just go, and there's like, okay, let her be. When Verity is a bit sad, then we try to make her laugh, and it's all different dynamics that we have, and we manage to work with each other very well. And if we really have a bad day, we manage of how not to annoy each other even more. It's just like stay out of the way, and I think that's great. I'm forever gonna be grateful for being able to have them here, and I think that it would be so much different if I didn't have them here. And I also believe that if not the girls, maybe I would not be bowling all the stops. Maybe I wouldn't be so happy about every event, because it's not just what we do on the lanes, but it's everything off the lanes, hotels, restaurants, the time we spend together. I think we have a lot of fun.
Curtis, it sounds like their relationship is better than ours here, so we gotta work on it.
Hey, you know what? We need
All the
some
arguments
trust
we had.
exercises. We need some trust exercises. Maybe a retreat, a winter retreat, or something like that, where we can really research and better understand each other and stare lovingly into each other's eyes. I'm all about that, Aaron Smith. I'm ready for that closeness.
I agree. We gotta get there, Curtis.
Hey, you know what? I think we're we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. So I've been out on the road for a long time, and you do have to form these relationships, and your road friends become not just road friends but road family, and it transcends, and it becomes special because it's family you choose. You guys choose to be together and be friends, and obviously you've made an impression on the bowling world because you guys are very well known as a group, as a collective, and I've never heard anybody have anything bad to say about the group. You guys spend great time with the fans. You guys interact wonderfully with each other and with the fans when the times come, and even when you haven't had such a great day on the lanes, I see you guys interacting and signing autographs and taking pictures and doing all of those things. So thank you guys for being such great ambassadors of this sport, and being such a wonderful international presence here out on the PWBA tour, because it makes our tour better. And I know that it was hard for you early because obviously things kind of played a little bit against you. You moved back to Poland, correct?
Yeah.
And you were not able to come out early. How was that, kind of seeing things happen and you not being able to be a part of it?
Yeah, I was meant to come back to the United States in April 2020 for the tour, but I didn't. And then in May, my visa expired, and unfortunately, I could not get it back all the way till the end of February. And all the struggle of trying. Oh wow, Verity 7-5-10. It was phenomenal. Sorry, I kind of lost the plot, but yeah, it was a struggle, but it worked out great. I'm very happy being in Europe again. I'm happy I can be here while the tour is happening. I'm staying a lot with Diana. She offered me her home as my own, and I feel very good there. So whenever there's a longer break, I can always fly to see her, and it's very nice knowing that I have a support here. It will be a lot harder without her and without Verity offering me their help. But I'm very much of a family person. I did feel very lonely in the States, and I did feel like some part of me was missing. And going back, it just made me realize that that part was my family and my friends and just the culture overall. So I am happy to be back there. I'm also going to be competing in a lot more European tournaments now. So I'm just hoping for all this COVID mess to go away, so that way all the European tournaments can come back. And I'm looking forward for years very much filled with bowling in Europe and bowling on tour here in the States.
Very, very awesome. We do have a quick score update here. through 4 games here, 19 games overall. Stephanie Zavala continues to lead at plus 667. However, Verity Crawley with that win now at plus 619. So it is getting closer here. So another big game for Verity. She's off to a nice start here with a couple of strikes. Jen Higgins hanging in the top 4, plus 546, but it's gotten a little bit closer between 3rd and 4th as well. Misaki Mukutani with an 8-2 record in match play is now hanging on to that 4th spot, plus 495, 35 pins ahead of Danielle McCune at plus 460, Vanna Cote at plus 452, Ashley Rucker plus 432, 63 back, Kelly Kulik in 8th, plus 140, or 140 back at plus 355, Sandra Gongora plus 330, and then Shannon O'Keefe rounds out the top 10 at plus 322. So just 2 to go. 3 players, McCune, Cote, and Ashley Rucker, within about 60 of the show.
It's gonna be a slugfest finishing out here. You've got a couple of really, and I think the pressure's on Mukutani as we approach this these final couple of games. She's staring down the barrel of some very, a couple of KG veterans, and obviously Ashley Rucker as well, that are very close to her. Can she take the pressure of being in that position and maintaining? And she's going to have to bowl against probably one of them when you come to my favorite game in bowling, and that's the position round. I'm in love. I have an infatuation with the position round, Daria. It is my favorite. How does it feel to be in that situation? In the week that Verity run, you went on a massive tear toward the end of that final qualifying block to really put yourself in the position you did. Tell us a little bit about, when you're on the outside looking in, how do you prepare yourself to try to make a run? What do you tell yourself? And what is your thought process as you kind of go through that?
That event, I ended up leading and I lost to Verity. In my memory, it happened so quick. I just put myself in the position to where I believe not many people could stand. I think it was because of my rev rate, but I'm going to be honest with you. I had so much room down lane that whatever I did, it did strike. And I was just going out there very confident that I am going to hit the pocket. And it doesn't happen very often for me on PWBA, but I was not really overthinking it. I wasn't counting the scores. I wasn't going to that round thinking like, oh, I'm gonna want to lead this event. I was just like, I'm gonna do everything to make the finals, and it happened. So it did help me with my confidence. I did wish I won because we are here to win, but if I lost, I was happy it was to Verity, and I think that's gonna be very special for her because that was her first title. I believe it was first of very many she's about to have. But when it comes to mental preparation, I think that a lot of bowlers, including professionals, we tend to get ahead of ourselves. So being in a third frame, we sometimes already calculate, what can we get to if we strike out? And if we do get to that score, how much is it going to help us to move up the board? I think that's such a vicious circle because the moment we start counting our strikes for granted and our shots, we are depending on the outcome that we cannot control. And the moment that we don't strike, we tend to feel very let down and we just go downhill from there. So it's very important just to stay in the moment and really focus on just executing a good shot. And all I mean by this is just to be stable at the foul line, get the ball where you want it to go, and not really count it as a strike every time because sometimes we cannot control the pins. I did had one nasty 299 this year at the Queens, and I threw a great shot and I left an 8-pin. So this is something we cannot control. And I think that the moment that we really realize that we're going to have a lot less letdowns, and I think that it's going to help with the self-confidence because every time we're trying to put a value on ourselves just by the outcome, which is a score, it can be very volatile. And you can never put yourself in such a position to where the score is going to determine who you really are on the lanes.
I have and I love that point because, and it's something that speaks very much to me. I have a tattoo on my wrist, and it is the Serenity Prayer, and it says, God grant me the serenity. And the whole thing is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change the strength to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And once you realize the things you can change versus the things you cannot change, it frees you up mentally and takes a lot of pressure off yourself. So I love that idea of, hey, I can't control sometimes the way the pins end up falling, but I can control my execution. And so I really do appreciate that perspective.
Yeah, I think this is something that we have to realize as professionals, that we are not always in control. There is that quote, just as you were speaking about your tattoo, went through my head. It's like, give me a coffee if I need to solve my problems, and give me a wine when I need to forget about them. uh, yeah, but you're totally right. If we're trying to put focus on something that we cannot really control, then it's pointless. Like, how do we improve from there? Just focus on the things that you can get better at. And that in bowling, that's so much. It's just physical game, and it's bowling has turned into such a different sport, I think, ever since late 2000s, to where it's no longer really just about repetition. It's no longer really just about the physical game. I think it's about generating power and what to do in order to generate the power. And we know everybody is built differently, so we are not always going to have the same exact technique, because what works for one is not going to work for the other person, because this other person is not going to be able to repeat it because it's not natural for their bodies. But it's all about really understanding the lanes, knowing where to stand, how to move, being smart, seeing ball motion. I think we're getting into where it's being more spread out, all the information, thanks to social media. I think people are starting to realize of how important it is to really understand how to lay out the balls, what to do, where to stand. But we have long ways to go still to push this knowledge into the wider audience, so that way we all realize that it's not just about standing in one spot and throwing into the same one over again. It's not what makes you great. Not anymore.
I will say, and you make a really excellent point there, the proliferation of social media and the access to knowledge that people have now is so much greater than it has ever been. Back 20 years ago, there were only certain people you could learn certain things from, and you had to either go out on tour and get that experience firsthand, or know somebody out on tour to get that first experience secondhand. And now through websites and YouTube channels and everything like that, you are starting to see so much more educated individuals coming up quicker. And no better an example of that than we saw at Junior Gold this year. I had the opportunity to watch the 12-year-old division, and the knowledge and experience these 12-year-olds had with ball changes and equipment and reading the lanes and understanding transition, it flabbergasted me. I was completely shocked. And so I think that is a direct result of access to education and knowledge. And of course, kids are sponges, and if they obsess over something, they're going to latch onto it.
Yeah, that's why I'm very big on social media, and I'm so happy to see so many professional bowlers doing such a good job and pushing a great content. And I'm going to be talking here about not just the PWBA girls like Verity, Shannon O'Keefe, Danielle McHugh, and Diana, myself. There's a lot of us, but the boys like Darren Tang and Brad, and all these guys are doing such a good job, because they're making bowling so entertaining, but yet through their vlogs or videos that they create over like different ball motions, they push so much knowledge in the pool. So those who are like sponges, like you mentioned, the kids are obsessed with bowling, they want to watch it, and they make it so entertaining for them that they cannot watch more, and they keep pushing more and more content. And this is something that we didn't have 10, 15 years ago. So I think we should be taking the most advantage out of it. And I'm also happy that people who are not really professionals and are not maybe even aspiring to be professional bowlers, you can see them pushing bowling content through social media by posting their bowling, by talking about bowling. My feed is full of bowling, like it's all bowling shots, bowling equipment, bowling balls. I love it, because back when I started social media to take it very seriously, that was back in 2016. It wasn't really that common, so I felt like I was the only one really trying to do a lot. Sorry. to push a lot of content just to let people know what is bowling like in the States, because I was trying to get it to people in Poland and in Europe, like to show them what is it to be like a professional bowler. And I love that there's so many people doing it, and there's so much content.
Oh, tough 7-pin there for Verity, but it looks like she has this match well in hand. 2-team Max, she double in the 10th, and she should be able to actually use the first hit in the 10th, and she should be fine. But yeah, no, that's a great point. You know, I think that bowling, the international aspect of bowling, has grown so much, so much. You know, you look at 30 years ago, there was pretty much one international bowler, and that was Emleto, for the most part. You had a couple of other exceptions here, and then of course Mika came across, and you had really guys like Patrick Healy who were responsible for going out and really bridging that gap and bringing a lot of international players. And now you look at it, and like right now we have England, Japan, all these other countries that are represented right here in this final. And then you looked at the show we had a couple of days or yesterday, and or 2 days ago, and 3 out of the 4 were international players. And so
you did have Ukraine, England, Germany, and Jordan representing the United States. So
yeah,
it was very much of an international show, which is really cool, showing that internationals do make a splash on PWBA, because I believe it's a lot harder for Europeans to get on tour and try their best to bowl against, the best in the world, really. So just seeing that international girls are making finals, are making cuts, they're enjoying themselves. It's makeable, it's possible. I think it gives a lot of courage to people who are still doubting themselves, thinking that they might not be good enough or it might not be for them.
Verity needs to pick up this spare, and obviously just get some count, and she should take this one home.
Spare in 7, and
that's a tough break right there. She's got it left 205. That's not the way that she wanted things to go there.
Misaki will need the double now, but has the chance to sneak out the victory. Jen Higgins is going to get a win against Danielle McEwen. She's going to be giving some pins back, 176 this game. And Ashley Rucker here on 3 and 4. She's going to collect the win against Kelly. Going to get the bonus pins with the 220, and she's going to get she's going to be pushing that plus 500 mark. So she is getting close and getting right into the mix here for this number.
First hit there for Mukotani, and she's going to need this one right here. Anything less than a strike, Verity will squeak out the victory. Looks like Stephanie Zavala. Sandra Gongora can beat Stephanie Zavala by striking out in the 10th to beat her by a single pin. But Sandra comes up a little short, leaves the 2-4-8. And so Stephanie Zavala will capture this title, this game. Oh. Yeah, you and I felt that one.
Verity will get the 30, but not going to gain too much there on Stephanie. Just the 3 pins in the overall score, both of them collecting the win here in Game 5. A Big 10th frame upcoming on 11 and 12. Brianna Cote just struck out to get to 218. Clara Guerrero can double 9 to get to 219. And for Cote, that 30 bonus pins, humongous right now.
Absolutely essential for Brianna to pick up that bonus pins if she can. Clara's can obviously play spoiler right now, as she's kind of out of the mix she is absolutely out of the mix for this show. But one game to go, and it looks like, looks like Clara's going to leave a 10 pin here on lanes 11 and 12. And so Brianna's going to pick up 48 to the plus. That's going to put her at 500 even, inserting herself into the conversation for this. She's only 43. She was only 43 out of the show, and she's going to pass up Danielle McEwen after a rough game. So we'll get those scores tabulated, and we're going to have a position round, Aaron Smith.
We are. She's actually going to pass Misaki as well, just 202. So she's going to edge her by a couple pins.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So she's going to be on. She should be, do all the quick math here. She should. So she'll be in 4th place.
So the way it's looking right now, we'll see another matchup between Stephanie and Verity. So if it works the way the Go Bowling Classic did, they should be on 1 and 2 once again. So Verity, the opportunity to see this pair twice in a row with the way the position round works. And then Jen Higgins and Brianna will be on 3 and 4. And then that 5-6 matchup, which looks like it's going to be, it actually might be Misaki and Ashley Rucker. With the victory in the 227, she's going to get close to that plus 480 range. Danielle giving a few pins back, so it looks like Danielle's going to drop all the way to 7th with that game.
Yes, sir. And that's how quickly it can happen with the bonus pins with the match play. So we'll get everything tabulated here. Going to take care of some back end stuff, and we'll get there from there. Daria, you going to stick around for this final game?
Yes, of course.
That is awesome. I'm going to duck out here, Aaron, and take care of some things. People want to most definitely listen to Daria more than they want to listen to me, so we'll let that happen. Obviously, that's a good decision. But we're excited. We have a position round coming, and then soon after at 8 p.m. Eastern time, or excuse me, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. local time, we will have a step ladder final. So you're not going to want to go anywhere except right here on Bowl TV.
We'll have a quick minute to tabulate the scores, make sure everything is correct heading into the position round. So as we prepare for that, I want to give a big shout out to Storm, one of our gold industry partners. Storm Bowling is the leading manufacturer of high-performance bowling equipment. Be sure to visit your local VIP Pro Shop to pick up your new Storm ball and bowl up a Storm. And talking about giveaways, we'll have one upcoming here in just a moment as well. But Storm's going to be giving away a bowling ball during the stepladder finals tonight. Storm bowling ball of choice will be up for grabs for one lucky Bowl TV viewer. So once again, we mentioned 3 bowling balls going to be available during the stepladder final. Another reason not to miss the action here on Bowl TV from the International Bowling Campus Classic. So we will be right back. Position round, Game 6 coming up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have our position room. On lanes 1 and 2, we have Stephanie Zavala versus Verity Crawley. Stephanie Zavala is at plus 699 and Verity is at plus 654. On 3 and 4, Jen Higgins at plus 577 versus Brianna Cote at plus 5. Ladies and gentlemen, I have our lanes 5 and 6. On lanes 1 and 2, we have Stephanie Zavala versus Verity Crawley. Stephanie Zavala is at plus 699 and Verity is at plus 54. On 3 and 4, Jen Higgins at plus 577 versus Brianna Cote at plus 500 versus Shannon O'Keefe. On lanes 5 and 6, Masaki Mukutani at plus 497. Sasha is 3 points of the final. Her opponent will be Ashley Rucker at plus 488, and she is only 12 in front line. On lane 7 and 8, Danielle McEwen at plus 436 versus Shannon O'Keefe at plus 373. On lanes 9 and 10, we have Kelly Cuba versus Sandra Gongora. And on lanes 11 and 12, we have Clara Guerrero versus Stephanie Schwartz. Ladies, please report to your lanes, and you will receive 5 minutes of warning.
All right, everybody. You heard Tennille make the announcements of where everybody is at. So we are watching the top 4 here. Stephanie Zavala, Verity Crawley, Jen Higgins, and Brianna Cote. They are going to have a 5-minute warm-up session to get ready here. So as we let them warm up and get ready to go, let's go ahead and do our giveaway, folks. So we got another Bowl TV t-shirt to give away. And so it's going to be time during this practice session here. Once again, just 5 minutes of warm up here to get loose for this final game here to determine our top 4. But for the giveaway, if this is your first time joining us here on Bowl TV, we certainly appreciate it. All you have to do in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen momentarily, you're going to see a prompt that says the giveaway will begin soon. Watch here to participate. It's going to count down for 60 seconds, and then in that very same spot, bottom left-hand corner of your screen, it's going to say a giveaway has begun, and it's going to count down for 45 seconds. And during that time, you'll see a submit entry button on your screen. And all you have to do is click on it, and you will be entered for a chance to win. We do recommend that if you're in full screen mode, take it out for a quick second. Make sure you can see the chat. But we'll go ahead and get that giveaway underway. Good luck, everybody. And thanks again for watching here on Bowl TV.
All right, ladies, hold it up. One more practice there. Hold it up. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The final game of our match play. We'll find out who will advance. Our goal TV stepladder finals of the PWBA. Just a few moments. All right, ladies, hold. Give them a big round of applause. As they begin that final goal. Ladies, your arrows up. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll find out who will advance to our gold TV stepladder finals of the PWBA IBC Classic in just a few moments. So let's give them a big round of applause. As they give me that. As they share everything, we're all getting a full set.
All right, everybody, it is time. We are ready to go position round across the house here at the International Bowling Campus Classic. I'm Aaron Smith, sitting alongside PWBA Tour Champion Daria Payuk, and we are ready to see who's going to make the top four here for the IBC Classic. Daria, thanks again for joining us here. It's been fun, and Verity is in a great position right now to make a second consecutive stepladder final. That's incredibly impressive. She's had such a great season. This would be her fifth step ladder of the year. That's something else.
That's amazing. I think she's having such a great year, and it's just one of many. So we definitely should have an eye on her and learn from her and her work ethic. I love how much she is interacting with all the PWBA fans and her followers. She's doing an amazing job on Patreon. So if you guys want to know more of the inside of how it is on tour or get some online coaching from her, she also has a Patreon page. So I think she has all the ends covered for her. She's great on the lanes, and she's also great off the lane. So I see nothing but success for her.
Off to a nice start here, clean through 2, taking on Stephanie Zavala once again for this top spot. And the difference is, let's see, she's at 654 to 699. So in addition to getting the win, for Verity to take over the top seed, she would have to defeat Stephanie by 16 pins here. So that's kind of what's at stake here on lanes 1 and 2. Going for the top seed and being in that position where you only have to win one match. Jen Higgins and Brianna Cote. Jen in third place right now, plus 577. So she's got some room here to work with to make the show. So it's been a couple of years since we've seen Jen on a PWBA Tour broadcast. So if she's able to hold on here, it'll be great to see her back in the mix at in a championship round. Of course, she had a great run at the Queens in 13 and 14, making back-to-back shows a couple of years back. She's taking on Brianna Cote, and Cote has a few competitors right behind her who are looking to jump into this stepladder finals tonight. So big match over on 5 and 6 between Misaki Mukutani and Ashley Rucker, and then Danielle McEwen as well on 7 and 8, still within striking distance of this number. Cote is going to get the hit there. Makes it 3 out of 4 against Higgins. Taking a look at that matchup on 5 and 6. Misaki starting with 3 in a row. Ashley Rucker bowling a nice game as well, though. Spare, double, and spare in the 4th. Verity adds another one here. Off to a strong start. Scores for Misaki, plus 497. Ashley Rucker, plus 488. So both of them within 12 pins of the show. Danielle, plus 436. So going to need a big game here. And she's doing what she needs to do so far. Spare 3-bagger, but it's going to have to get the win. Shannon O'Keefe has started with the front 4, looking to play spoiler here in the final game. But Danielle's got to keep on striking and get some help from the players ahead of her in that tightly contested race for the 4th spot. Daria, I've been very impressed with Misaki's game here. She made it through the PTQ. She's in position to make the show. And, this is our first time getting to see her on the PWBA side. And for someone who, past Rookie of the Year, so you know the ups and downs of coming to the tour for the first time. You had some success prior to joining the tour as well, bowling a couple of the majors in 2016. How tough is it to come into this environment and put yourself in the position to make a run at a show against the best players in the world?
I think it's really, really tough. But the good side of it is that expectations tends to be a bit lower, because when I came on tour, I wasn't really expecting myself to be winning against all these legends. So I was just not having my expectations very high, but yet I was really focused. I was really trying to make every shot count. I was very happy to be on tour. I'm not sure if Misaki have not bowled at JPBA, so Japanese Professional Bowling an association. So I don't know if she has any experience on the professional side of it, but I'm sure she had bowled a lot of World Bowling Tour events, and she's done a lot of good tournaments. So she is a very experienced bowler. It's just the PWBA that she has not participated in before, which it's definitely a different environment, but I think she's managing herself great. She's a phenomenal bowler. I also think that her mental game is really good. You can see how calm she is, and how I feel like she's not really getting ahead of herself. And that has showed in the scores by just making it to the PTQ and then really qualifying to make that top 12, which wasn't really easy because the scores were so high. She put a very big score out there on the board. She managed to get where she is now. And here we are. She is going to be trying to make the show. And I might be wrong, but I think it might be the first Japanese professional bowler to make it to PWBA finals. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm going to say it's been quite a while since we've had a player, definitely since the relaunch in 2015. I know, looking back in the past history, back in the early 80s, a few players from Japan winning titles at the Queens. So it's been a while, though, since we've seen a player from Japan come out here and make a run at a stepladder finals. Obviously, we the international flavor. We talked about it with Curtis a little bit. So great on the PWBA tour. We'll have Team Singapore coming back in a couple of weeks as well for a couple of events. So excited to see them. Malaysia, Indonesia, Colombia, England, Poland, Latvia, Mexico, absolutely. Just so well represented out here. Dasha from Ukraine, Ria Balanova from Russia as well. It's really phenomenal, the amount of talent from across the world, and seeing all those players develop their skills overseas as well, and kind of Daria, for many of us, the first time we got to see you was competing for Weber International. But obviously, you were working on your game well before that, doing a lot of great things to prepare for that, to make your way to the United States for that. So there's a lot of opportunities as well to test yourself against the best, not just here, but across the globe.
Yeah, definitely. Everything that I've done in the past has brought me to where I am. Having the experience I received through bowling on national team of Poland has been a big factor in me wanting to pursue bowling. Maybe not a bowling career as a professional bowler, because back when I decided to go to Weber International University, there was no PWBA or not even a gossip about it launching. So I just really enjoyed bowling. It's like, okay, if I can get my education and bowl at the same time, nothing is really going to change from my high school years and even before. But I think I was very lucky with time frames. I was very lucky that the tour had a relaunch while I was junior at Weber. And I think that was the biggest year for me, that back then when I was a junior, 2015, I decided I'm going to give it all to win the national championship with the girls. We worked very hard on my physical game with all the coaches at Kegel. They brought me to where I was in 2016. And I'm thankful we could win the national title. And then it was a straight road to go on tour, and there was really nothing to stay against it. It's like, why not? I'm already here in the States. I can stay for longer because I still had my visa. And I give it a try, and I was just very lucky that the first events I bowled very well to give me enough confidence to be like, okay, I think I can do it.
Absolutely. I remember that run at the Queens in 2016. Very impressive. And I remember, for a lot of folks on Bowl TV, we had, as we mentioned, got to see you compete at Weber, and the success the Warriors won the ITC in 2016 as well, along with Verity, along with Taylor Baltais, a lot of great players on that team. And I remember when you came to the Bowl TV pair for the first time, back when we just covered a couple lanes. Now that we're covering the whole house, we get to see so much more. But I remember we were excited to introduce the PWBA fans to you, and you did not disappoint. I think you came to the pair through like the front six right out of the gates, and it was like, all right, we're hoping we get to see more of her on tour over the course of the next few years, and you haven't disappointed since.
That's really cool. I don't have any memory of that event. The only thing I remember about US 2016, I was in the midst of trying to get a sponsorship contract, and in my bag I had 3 different brands because I had ABI, because that's the balls I was throwing throughout all my college years, because that's what Weber was signed with. I did have some motive balls and I did have some global balls, and during the event at the Queens, I have decided to sign with the global, and I think it was a very big life-changing decision I've made, because ever since I was able to stay on tour, I was able to get equipment, and I was fully supported to be here and chasing my dreams. And the balls are phenomenal. Got me to get a title, got me to a couple of finals. I could not pull the win, so I think I have already 5 runner-ups. But I hope that's gonna change eventually. I'm very happy with everything, and I do believe everything happens for a reason. And 2016 was the year to where I made a lot of decisions I didn't know they were going to be so crucial later on in my life.
Right now, we are getting to the thick of things here for the position round. Verity, after the spare in the first, has not missed 7 in a row. Stephanie Zavala with that 6-pin in the 9th frame drops her max down to 218. So we talked about the difference between first and second, and Verity is going to have the opportunity, stepping up here in the 9th and the 10th, to move into the top spot. So outside of one game today, Stephanie Zavala has been the overall tournament leader, but Verity can step up here in the 9th and the 10th and be the top seed for the IBC Classic here coming up later tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And Brianna Cote in the 4 spot, knowing there's some scores behind her. 7 out of 8 can shoot 280.
Yeah, Aaron, she's not going to...
High scores I was expecting to happen. The pattern has opened up a little bit. You still have to get the ball to where you're looking at, so to the right, there is that spot. But the pattern has developed to where the girls can put the higher scores, and it makes it so much more interesting. Verity's on her way to bowling at 290 and taking the lead. And the girls have a very good match in the position round for the 3rd and 4th spot. And I'm not seeing the other matches, 9, 5, and 6, but I believe it's also tight.
It was tight. Both of them were bowling pretty well, but that 7-pin might change things up. But Verity has all but locked up. It's done. She's going to make the move into the top seed here. So even with a without a strike, with an open here, she's going to be into the 250s. Best Stephanie Zavala can do is 218. And with the 30 bonus pins, this is all set. Verity's going to be our top seed tonight.
That is great. I do feel for Stephanie, because she's had an amazing tournament, and losing the lead just right before the final is not the greatest experience ever. But it just shows that if you put enough fire and effort, you can climb and get to the leader, even if it seems it's very far away. And I think that round robin and 30 pins just make it so much more exciting, because so many things can change throughout the course of the games, and that has allowed Verity to climb to the leader, because she has put a lot of tremendous games and also pull up the wins. In that 10th frame, when she needed to strike, she would strike, which gave her a lot more pins. I think she fully deserved it. It's going to be a great final. It's going to be a great TV show today.
She has fought through it today. A very crazy second game earlier today, especially on 1 and 2. So fighting back on that pair. And now Brianna Cote, taking a look at the scores available on 5 and 6. The highest total that either Rucker or Misaki can get to is going to be 237. So Cote ahead already on total pinfall. She just needs a couple pins here to secure the lead. So it looks like it's going to be Brianna Cote hanging on to the 4th spot. We had opportunities for quite a bit of drama, but Cote is going to the show. Jen Higgins doing what she needs to do. She's going to be hanging on to a spot as well. And there's Verity, and we see the emotion. We see the little celebration. And it's something where she can definitely enjoy it right now, enjoy it for a quick moment, but plenty of work left to be done.
Yeah, unfortunately, being a top seed at the TV show, it's not the easiest, but I think the advantage is that the lanes develop to where she feels comfortable. So I'm hoping that when it gets to her match, she's going to be able to bowl her A game and really get comfortable. We just never know how the lanes are really going to develop because we don't know what the girls bowling the prior games are going to do. But I'm definitely looking forward for the match, Brianna Cote against Jen Higgins. I think it's going to be a great match. So overall, it's going to be a very exciting evening for all of us tonight.
It is 9 p.m. Eastern time for the stepladder finals. It's going to be Verity Crawley, the top seed. Stephanie Zavala is going to hang on to the 2 seed here. I'm just kind of looking at the math here. If Cote gets this one, she's stepping up right now. Adds another one. She's going to be at 259. Add the 30 bonus pin. She's going to be at plus 589. If Jen Higgins goes strike spare here, she would be at plus 589. Nice cover there by Stephanie. She'll be seated in the semifinal match. So, essentially this would be just to determine who gets lane choice. But we've seen at the ITRC, they can be a little tricky from pair to pair. So that might be a big thing. And now it's not going to be enough. So Bree is going to make the full jump all the way to 3rd place. So we have our top 4. Daria going to 9 and 10 for the stepladder finals. What have you seen from that pair this week?
I don't want to talk about 9 and 10.
9 and 10 is no good?
It wasn't good for me. I felt like lane 9 was tight, but just right in front of the headpin, while 10 was hooking more overall. It all depends on how they break down, really. So I don't want to really have any pre-assumptions on the lanes. I'm going to try to watch the ball motion and see what the girls do. I think they always break down different on the finals. They always tend to break down so much faster. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the girls are going to be playing the lanes. I really want to see if any of the girls decide to either break down the lane to their advantage or maybe the other way around, maybe try to mess up the opponent. We could have seen in the past some urethanes going down the lane just to make the pattern a little bit harder for your opponent, or we could see 500 360 grid on the right to make it easier for yourself to get the ball back if you miss right. So I'm very interested to see if any of the girls are going to choose any of those strategies just to mold the pattern into what they're going to feel most comfortable with.
Well, there we go. That's all that excitement, drama, just in ball reaction makes it really sound like we are in store for a great show that you folks are not going to want to miss. You've been here all day with us, and we certainly appreciate that. And, of course, we got one more quick sponsor to thank before we close this up and start getting prepared for the show upcoming. A big shout out to Brunswick. Brunswick has been a proven industry leader for over 100 years. And for more information, please check out brunswickbowling.com. And, folks, Brunswick, as we mentioned, we're giving away some bowling balls later tonight. Brunswick is also going to be giving away a bowling ball during the stepladder finals tonight. So 1, 2, 3 bowling balls up for grabs here on Bowl TV tonight. Big thank you to Brunswick, Rotogrip, and Storm for making that happen. A great run for both Misaki Mukutani and Ashley Rucker. They're actually finishing up their 10th frame. Ironically enough, they could tie this matchup. So that's actually going to end up determining 5th and 6th place. If Misaki, who you're going to see her stepping up far right of your screen in just a moment. If she strikes, this is a tie, and she will hold on to 5th place. However, if she does not strike, Ashley Rucker would actually officially finish in 6th. So great performance from both of them. And it looks like Rucker is going to get the win by 1 pin. So she's going to move into 5th place. Misaki is going to be 6th. So, but right now, the lineup for our show coming up tonight.
Number 3,
Our first match, Brianna Cote taking on Jen Higgins. The winner will take on Stephanie Zavala. And at the top of the stepladder, Verity Crawley, looking for her second title of the season and continuing just a phenomenal performance here in Arlington, Texas. Daria, I know you're excited for this coming up. Verity has been on a tear as of late. We've always known about the physical game. Talk a little bit about her mental game and everything that's been going on since she's come back that has allowed her to really just bowl free up there and be a phenomenal competitor week in and week out.
I do believe everything happens for a reason. So her visa being denied back in December 2020 has not really allowed her to come back and bowl as she wanted to in January, and that made her really appreciate just being able to be on tour. She had, I think, around 70 days to where she was not able to practice because of COVID, and she wasn't stuck in England. So she did put a lot of effort off the lines on her mental game, and she was reading lots of books. She was working on basically on her mentality on the lanes, and that's the reason why I think she became so much more stronger mentally. But I think that's something that it's very worth mentioning is that Verity had switched companies, and that's the first year she is bowling with Storm, and I do believe that's also a very big difference maker. I'm not saying that the other bowls were not good for her, but I can see that she is feeling more comfortable with the Storm equipment now, and that she knows the Storm equipment very well. I just think it's everything that she's worked on: her mental game, her physical game, being able to be a kegel, and also working with JJ on different ball motions, reading the lanes, understanding the patterns, how they're made, all the oils, conditioners. She has so much knowledge, and I think she manages to really use that knowledge when she has to make an educated guess when she's bowling. I don't know if you guys can see that on Bowl TV very well, but Verity transitions from one bowl to the other very smoothly. Sometimes you don't even realize she made a ball change. But when you're there on the lanes and you know you have to make a ball change, it's very hard sometimes to really know how much to move. Like, do you move 2? Do you move 4? Do you close angles? Do you open angles? Do you speed up or you throw it slower? She makes it so seamlessly that you cannot even realize, but that's all the knowledge and education that is going into all her decision making that has allowed her to really make that final and to be their leader right now, because I don't know how many balls she went through in this round, but I'm sure it was more than 5.
She had mentioned to us yesterday that she had well surpassed the amount of that is on the form sheet that all the competitors have to fill out each week. So I think she said it was an extra 4, 5, or 6 that she had to fill out going through that round, trying to find the right mix to make the top 12. And right now you can see the competitors getting briefed by Tennille Milligan, our tournament director, to get ready for the stepladder finals. Matt Cannizzaro as well, doing some great things out there, getting some photos in preparation. So we're going to take it away from the lanes, though. We're going to come back to the Bowl TV studio. And here we are, Daria. We are, what time is it? It's 6:44 local time. So we are an hour 15 away from the stepladder finals at the IBC Classic, the International Bowling Campus Classic. Another great group of competitors getting ready to hit the lanes. Once again, our opening match, Brianna Cote taking on Jen Higgins, the winner to face Stephanie Zavala, looking for her 3rd title of the year. And then the winner of that will face Verity Crawley in the title match. So we're going to have that 9 p.m. Eastern time right here on Bowl TV. Daria, can we implore you to potentially stick around and join us for the stepladder?
Yeah, sure. I was talking to Jason Thomas before. He messaged me at 12, and I'm listen, like, I stayed 45 minutes away, and Verity's my only ride. So if she does make the final, I have no problem staying with you and commentating and hanging out and watching. So yeah, she filled her part. So I'm also gonna fill my side of the deal, and I'm gonna stay here and hang out with you, and I'll be pulling for the girls.
All right. Well, we appreciate that. And I'm sure the Bowl TV community is very excited about that as well. So we're looking forward to having you join us. And we're going to start getting ready for a TV show, folks. So we're going to go ahead and sign off for right now. Be sure to head over to pwba.com and our social media channels, and head over to Daria's too. Give her a follow, give her a like across the board to keep up with the PWBA tour, all the action. We want to give a big thank you to the USBC and the BPAA and their board of directors for their continued support of the PWBA tour. Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider. Of course, our PWBA Tour athletes. Daria, thank you for everything.
You're very welcome.
The dedication to the craft and always putting on a show out on the lanes. It's always exciting to watch the best in the world compete, and you certainly are. And of course, the Bull TV fans. We hope you enjoyed the show. Once again, another great position round. We saw a ton of strikes down the stretch. We saw some moving and shaking. Verity making it to the top spot. Brianna throwing the big game to hold off some players charging in 5 and 6. So we can't ask for much more than that. And then finally, for the Bull TV team, big shout out to Matt Canzaro, Jason Thomas, Curtis Von Kruger for joining us throughout the day. And of course, our special guest here, PWBA Tour Champion, Daria Payuk. I'm Aaron Smith. We'll be right back. Once again, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 local time, about an hour, 15 minutes from here to get ready for the show. And of course, we'll have a little pregame show as well. We'll talk a little just about everything going on. We'll take a look at the practice session. Daria mentioned all the possibilities of bowling balls going down the lane and surfaces and everything. So we'll take a look at that as well. But we look forward to seeing you guys later today. We're going to crown a champion in just a little bit here on Bull TV. So folks, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you soon. And remember, on Bull TV, bowling lives here.